UFO Revelation, The Secret Technology Exposed. This is a book by Tim Matthews. I originally got this book in, I want to say, sometime in 1999, maybe early 2000. I was in Barnes & Noble and I saw this and I thought, that's interesting. So picked it up and it was way better than I expected. Way more information than I would have thought. Let's see, I want to say this is from 97 or 98. 1999. Okay, so yeah, so I stumbled onto it when it was a fairly new book. But UFO Revelation is interesting in that Tim Matthews really says, he goes straight for the throat on this and basically says UFO technology is terrestrial technology, that this is all, every bit of this can be sourced to terrestrial technology. And he does a really good job of backing that up. So whatever your thoughts are on aliens and the UFO phenomenon, this is a really good book in that he really gets into a lot of, very well sourced, goes into a lot of what he believes is the actual sources of some of these aircraft sightings. One of the interesting things here in he has a section of pictures, and on page, good night. It's probably on page like 100 or so, with the, I don't know if you can make that out there, but in this book, one of the concepts that he talks about that I think is really crucial to understanding the UFO phenomenon is the idea of lighter than air aircraft. And of course, most of us, when we think lighter than air, we think Goodyear blimp, we think Hindenburg, especially. But apparently, from what Tim Matthews is saying, and I tend to agree with this, I think he's onto something here, is that that lighter than air technology went black, probably sometime in the 70s. And by going black, means it went totally secret and was kind of discredited for the general public. But so we had the Goodyear blimp flying around. We're told that that's an impractical technology. But in the black world, in the black aircraft world, that became a very viable form of aircraft technology. And as he says in here, some of these flying triangles are actually lighter than air aircraft and designed as troop transports and equipment transports. And by nature of their technology, they have to be large. So this is from the Arion Corporation, and they proposed the idea of these massive airships that were triangular shaped and some like 300 feet wide by 600 feet long. And they used a concept combining both a rigid hull airship, so a composite like plastic airship hull, and then filled with a lifting gas like helium or nitrogen or hydrogen. So that is a very interesting concept because that explains a lot of the tales of these massive UFOs that are football field size or city block sized UFOs that people have reported in New Mexico and even here in Texas. So that's a very interesting kind of fills that gap of a lot of people think, well, something that big, that would have to be alien technology. So Matthews explains that pretty well in here, and I think that's an important note. And just to build on that a little bit, years ago when I was in sales for a composite company that will remain unnamed, I asked about, I'd read this book at that point, and this was 2002, 2003. I would call on some of my customers at Lockheed and Nordam and Northrop. There are several customers I called on that were composite customers. And when I casually asked about some of this, and again, stripping away the alien extraterrestrial aspect and just saying, hey, have you guys heard about programs of big lighter than air aircraft And without question, all of them said, oh yeah, there's a program. They took some of our guys away to New Mexico to work on that. So firsthand knowledge I have of that says that yes, that is a very real aircraft program. A lot of good information in here. He touches on electrogravitics, a lot of things like that are worth looking at. Again, this is one of those books that can be a difficult read if you're into the aliens, UFOs hypothesis. If you have an open mind to UFOs might serve a little bit broader purpose for psychological warfare, then this will definitely intrigue you. So UFO Revelation by Tim Matthews. Definitely, this is a must-have in my opinion.